Alright, hello people of the internet, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, happy Wednesday to you all, or if you're watching this at any other point in the week, hopefully you're having a great day nonetheless. I have popped off and made myself some dinner because, well, by the time I finished waffling about the MV for Girls Never Die, it was pushing 8 p.m. So, we are back. I am full up on food, I have a glass of water, and I am ready to go because we have a long road ahead of us because we have the ASSEMBLE24 album from tripleS's 24 member release to go through. This isn't any ordinary simple mini album. We have a 10-track studio length album to get through, so lots of music, lots of talking, and hopefully lots of good quality music. Girls Never Die, one of those songs that I'm definitely going to be able to really sink my teeth into. It's not my favorite tripleS title that they've done, but it's got the potential to become one that sits really high up there just because I feel like whenever I listen to it, I'm going to be able to digest it more and more every time I listen to it, and the more I listen to it, the more I'm going to enjoy it. It was kind of the same with NXT's Just Do It. I was the same way. And same with Evolution's Invincible, weirdly enough. So, anyway, we are done with the title track. We're not going to be doing it here, but we have the 9 other B-sides to get through. So, welcome aboard. Let's get this journey started. Here we go! And this is going to be treated like any other album listen we do here. We're going to listen through the songs in order. I'm going to read the song credits before every single song because producers deserve the credit that they deserve. Wait, yes? Credit where credit is due. The producers need to get the attention that they deserve for writing and making the masterpieces that are these B-sides. Or hopefully the masterpieces that are these B-sides. So, let's get this started. Track number 1, simply titled S, lyrics by Jaden Jung, composition El Capitan, Artie and Nano from Vendors, and Jongsu Kim, with El Capitan and Artie and Nano from Vendors on arrangements. Alright, here we go. Bump it up in my ears a little bit. Oh, it's kind of giving me Dreamcatcher intro at the moment. Oof. Playing right into my 1980s hard rock mind. Oh, we're going back into Girls Never Die. Hello, funk bass, what? Oh, I love the Never Die repetition in the background too. That's so cool. It's got like the funk guitar and bass with the hard rock guitar. Wow. Okay, what a way to start. So, it looks like the intro is just going to be an extension of Girls Never Die, which I'm okay with. I thought maybe with kind of how much they were pushing the story of, 1 to 24 throughout the MV for Girls Never Die, I thought maybe they'd do something more like narration-based for the intro. I'm not mad at it, though. This may... I don't want to call it a hot take, because this isn't really a take yet, but I would be very curious to see if we ever get that version of Girls Never Die. So, not like the title track that we got, but this kind of rock meets funk version of Girls Never Die, because I would love to hear a full version of that song with this instrumental from S. This, who was it? Stray Kids did a rock version of La 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 on their last album. And I thought that was very clever because, we get remixes and stuff. But when it's leaning into that rock sound, as someone who grew up around the 80s, like rock and hard rock, metal, hair metal, like that corner of the 80s rock music scene, hearing something like that is very much me coded, and now I'm just now thinking the potential of this instrumental for an entire rearrangement of Girls Never Die. Oh, that's got me very exciting. Oh, I really hope we get something like this, because we got Cherry Jean at one point, didn't we? Back in the day when they literally took Generation and Cherry Talk and just went. So can we get a remix of Girls Never Die? Have tripleS even done remixes before apart from Cherry Jean? Ooh. Anyways, we're off to a great start. Typically, track number 2, of course, the title track "Girls Never Die" would come here, but since I spent quite a long time on the MV, admittedly, and through the song, we're gonna skip it. I'll read over the credits though. So track number 2, "Girls Never Die," lyrics by Jaden Jung. Composition: El Capitan, Maria Marcus, Arine Karimi, Zener Nano Vendors, and Jongsu Kim. With El Capitan, Zenur, and Nano of Vendors on arrangements. Which takes us now to track number 3. The first of the proper B-sides, Heart Raider. Right. Why did I think that said Heart or Heat Rider? I'm missing 2 vowels in there. Heart Raider. Alright, lyrics by Yura Jindi and Moon Yeon from Full Bloom, so entirely different music team getting involved now. Composition: Glory Face, Bang Gun-woo from Full Bloom, alongside Davey Nate, Ryan Kim, and Jaina Brown, with Glory Face, Bang Gun-woo of Full Bloom on arrangements. Here we go. Give it some pace one time. I'm gonna take some notes on the side too, because I reckon this album is gonna be a long one. I'm gonna struggle to remember some stuff. Interesting bounciness to this song. The speed definitely helps, but the muffled instrumental definitely gives it a kind of bouncy feeling to it. Oh, it's just quick, okay. Get some nice high vocal moments. Really cool vocal stacking going on too. In terms of album placements, I'm actually kind of glad we have a song like this following Girls Never Die, because Girls Never Die is not a quick song by any means. So to like really get the album kicking, get the album moving, get a song like Heart Raider that just kind of gets the song forward, gets the album moving forward, I approve of it. And the groove is super nice too. Oh, thank God. I thought the song was wrapping up for a second. Slow it down a little bit. Retain just a little elements of this original speed. Build it back up. Get some vocals going. And that nice high vocal to drive forward that final chorus again. Pump with that. Interesting that even in that bridge, when it feels like it slows down, there's still a resemblance of this original fast beat. Wow. We're definitely getting into like contrasting work, aren't we? Because Girls Never Die, musically quite diverse, quite complex, lots of little bits and pieces going on with it. but it's also not like the punchiest, brightest song in the world. It's not the fastest song in the world. We get into Heart Raider. It's like they've taken the script of Girls Never Die and just kind of flipped it. So it's fast. The beat is a lot more simple. It's definitely more in your face. It's higher, brighter, and it's just Top Gear driving down the highway, full speed. That kind of vibe. In comparison to Girls Never Die. I think that contrast is super cool. The album starts, sorry, with S and I guess Girls Never Die, and by extension S, because they're essentially two halves of the same coin. You get this kind of nice walking attitude pace where it's just like it doesn't want to run off at any point. You just kind of feel the vibe, right? But on an album of this length, we can't keep the album there and eventually work our way down, because then it's going to feel almost sluggish towards once we get to the end of it. If it's like a logarithmic, or if it's a linear line in terms of energy from the title track and downwards to the final song. If you make it linear, it's just going to get slower and slower and slower, and it's not going to go anywhere. So you need a song like Heart Raider to really kind of just kick it in the butt and get it going. So approve of it. Righto, next up, Midnight Flower, song number 4, lyrics by Miss Nakyong, heck yeah, and Holland of Mono Tree, 329, and Kang Gyurin, composition Yoon Jong-sung, Yoon Jong-sung of Mono Tree, there it is, Denzel Chain and Chanti with Yoon Jong-sung of Mono Tree on arrangements. This album's new look, possibly? New look equivalent? Getting that constant 16th note chugging guitar beat, snappy drum part. Definitely getting new look vibes though, in terms of the aesthetic of it. It chugs. It's another song that chugs. Definitely in a different fashion than Heat Raider. Heat Raider, oh my god. Heat Raider, I did it again, it's Heart Raider. Oh my god, you know what, just ignore me. Oh, the little echoey ad-lib there. Nice touch to finish. But yeah, Midnight Flower is definitely like the rockified cousin to New Look from Assemble, the OT10 album. It's got clever usage of like dissonant chords and stuff, because the overall sound is very bright, but it throws in some kind of like minor chords and stuff. Minor chords, some sustained chords, some modified chords to kind of tone the brightness down. Yeah, that echoey Midnight Flower ad-lib to finish the chorus is super nice.
Midnight Flower.
I hear you up there. Prove of that. It's like it's the double dose of the speed is one thing for sure. That's, I think, a really interesting play on. You know, you kind of start off the album on a slower pace, so we're gonna kick it into gear and we're gonna keep it in gear. But Midnight Flower, for me, the way it's been arranged and produced, and especially helped by that constant 16th note guitar and bass element. It's giving me that kind of high octane vibe that you get from a song like Deep Purple's Highway Star, or just any of those like Motley Crue's Kickstart My Heart. There's a handful of songs that give off that high octane vibe from the 1980s rock scene, and even from like the late 70s into the 80s rock scene. Midnight Flower for me feels like the K-pop girl group take on that style of music. So it's got the really simple, repetitive, just chugging 16th note instrumental that really gives it that fast moving sensation. It's got the brightness, but it's got the dissonance in there. And especially with how much kind of like reverb work is going on in the ad-libs, especially with like the Midnight Flower at the end of each chorus, it gives it that kind of nighttime feel. And very much could be what I imagine tripleS's take on a midnight arcade racing machine OST to sound like. I think it fits. I don't know about y'all, but like it's got enough of the digital work to give it that modern feeling. It's got the chugging beat of that instrumental that has the classic kind of high octane vibe to it. Oh, excuse me. Dinner's fighting my body at the moment. And then the vocal elements, it's got the brightness of the girl group part, but it's got the kind of hold on letting the brightness get too out of control. Like it's held that down. So it does give it that kind of spooky, mysterious nighttime vibe as well, and then added onto that the reverb effect. Solid starts. Right, next up, track number 5, White Soul Sneakers, the obligatory Park Sohyun composition song. Lyrics by Miss Sohyun, composition Sohyun, Bad, San Yoon, Louis Frixveen, with Sohyun and Bad on arrangements. San Yoon. That's not Yoon San, is it? That's San Yoon. Either way, that name looks really familiar. I wonder what song. Anyways, White Soul Sneakers. Here we go. Whoa. Interesting synth choice. Loving the vocal stacks too. Fingerstyle Latin guitar, what? Is this the chorus or the pre-chorus? We got a riser coming into it, a subtle one. The song hasn't switched too much. Hold on a second. Oh, this might be the chorus actually. Oh, it's a little bit classy. Wow, okay. This is one of those very rare pop songs where you really have to pay attention to figure out where you are in the song. Oh, get glitchy with it. Wow, yeah. In between phrases in the song, there's not a lot of change that happens. Hello, rap verse. Wow, okay, yeah. All the vocal harmonization is spectacular. I love a great vocal part. But I don't know where we are in the song anymore. 95% sure that's a Dahyun vocal run, a la Door. But wow. Oh my goodness. So, and you cooked with a little bit of different gravy this time around. Hold on. Composition. What question mark 3 underlines? Wow. Okay. So look, what my point is with this is I've done this a couple times, I feel like, with tripleS music, and also with OEC and artist music as well. But typically on pop songs, there's kind of a standard formula for pop songs, and I would say 9 out of 10 times a song we cover here, you know what? I'd say 19 out of 20 times we cover songs on here, these songs will follow this formula. The song starts with an opening, maybe it's the hook. Then you go verse 1, pre-chorus 1, chorus 1, verse 2, pre-chorus 2, chorus 2, bridge, chorus 3, and you chain that together, maybe throw in an outro at the end. That is your linear progression through a pop song. White Soul Sneakers, for me, does this really clever but also tricky thing of going through different phrases within the song. So like going from verse to pre-chorus to chorus without really sounding like it's changing between these musical phrases. So take what's a tripleS song that I can think of off the top of my head that I know really well? Girls Capitalism, sure. Boom. So you go from the verse. That verse, you establish the main beat of the song, you know, the main vibe. You get the instrumental part grooving, you get the vocals going. Maybe if it's on verse 2, you get the rap verse kind of flowing a little bit. Then you get to the pre-chorus. Then your brain kind of picks up on the fact that the song changes because the song will tell you when it's changing. Usually on a more upbeat pre-chorus, the song will drop down a notch and then slowly build until that big release that is when the chorus starts. So your brain can pick up on the fact that, oh, we're in a different phrase of the song now. And because the song kind of settles down, drops down in volume a little bit, your ears pick up on that. And it tells your brain to, okay, pay attention, something's going to happen. So you lock in with the song, you feel the growth, main drop, main hook. That is like the killing moment of the song is that chorus. That's typically how a pop song flows. What White Soul Sneakers doesn't do is that. It establishes a vibe right off the get-go, and it really doesn't change a whole lot. So much so that unless you purposely count in like where you are in the song, what measure the song is in, you don't really know what the main chorus is. It doesn't tell you immediately what the hook of the song is in a way where it's easily recognizable, like, say, even with this current era with Girls Never Die. La, 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 da, da. Like, that is your main hook. That's established very well and clear. And even if you didn't pay attention to the first, 25 seconds of the song, you immediately know what the main hook of the song is. You don't get that in White Soul Sneakers. And yet, for me, this musically is super interesting to listen to, because every single part flows in a way where it really gets my mind going. And then it comes up with the point of, where are we in the song? And it's never, I don't understand what's going on. It's, okay, this is really good, but I don't know what to expect now because I don't know where I am. I've rarely felt that about a K-pop song. White Soul Sneakers has done that for me, though. Well done, Sohyun. Well done, music team. Apologies if that got a little bit long-winded, but next up is Chiyu, track number 6. Lyrics by D-Day and Jaden Jung. Composition KZ, Kim Tae-young, MLC, Maria Marcus, and DINT, with KZ, Kim Tae-young on arrangements. Okay, Maria Marcus is a name that's familiar to me. Bring back the groove one time. Slower groove, okay. I like the more relaxed, like, kickback vibe of this. It's giving me kind of, you know, that nighttime aesthetic that I like to talk about on songs like this. Similar to Midnight Flower, it's got that big, wide reverb effect in the vocals too. Hello, vocals! Wow, the vocal stacking is terrific. Oh, a little bit of digital work in the vocals, but isolated, so it feels really isolated for the second verse start. Was that Shion's vocals there? The kind of cutesier, higher voice? Oh, the vocal work is terrific. Oh. I am a sucker for some vocal harmonies, man. Hello, moving synth. Ooh. Wow, this one's something, let me tell ya. I'm so glad we got a little bit of the vocal work from Aria's Door on a 24 song. Oh yes, I am a sucker for some good vocal harmonies. That Chiyu is laced with tasty vocal harmony work. Oh my goodness. And the thing is, it probably has something to do with the fact that I grew up around kind of choral music in a way. Like, it was part of our curriculum in my K-8 private school that I grew up at. And there's just something that's special about a vocal harmony that just tickles my ears in the right way. But the fact that we got the kind of complexity of the vocal harmonies that wouldn't be out of place on Aria's music, right? Really pretty, soft, delicate, almost breathy vocals, but with 24 voices at your disposal. Why not throw in really rich vocal harmonies, right? Like, just because it's a B-side on a K-pop album doesn't mean you only have to use one voice at a time. That's partly one of the reasons why I love NCT 2021's Beautiful so much, is because there's always so much vocal work going on, both on like isolated vocals and harmonized. Chiyu is the exact same way for me. There's so much vocal harmony going on. And the vocal harmonies are so pretty. Oof, that's my B-side of the album right now. Yeah, that's spectacular. And it's the time of day, because it's pushing 9:30 now. Like, we started like 10 to 9 in the evening. It's now almost 9:30. But just, it's the perfect time of day to listen to a song like this, you know? Right, next up, 24. All right, 24. Lyrics by GDLO and Yellow of Monotree with Ikki. Composition GDLO, Yellow, Moonkyo of Monotree, and Ikki with GDLO and Moonkyo of Monotree on arrangements. I'm gonna hazard a guess this is gonna involve some very tasty synthesizers. Because if I've learned anything about just like reading into K-pop albums in the past couple years or so, is that Monotree know how to do some synth work. So. Did I or did I not call it? I like the kind of walking pace of this one though. Like, speed-wise, it's not quick, but it's got a pep in each beat that I really like. Ooh. Rumbling, almost like buzzing bass, very cool. Kind of mixing some gang vocal elements as well. Hello, brass section 2. Oh, get a little sassy playful with it one time. A little synth solo? Hello. Hello, rap first. Oh, but then you finish it with a little bit of vocal work at the end too. Okay. I also like that they're referencing some of their own music. Like, I've definitely heard Dimension, I've heard Generation in there. So it's definitely Stank Face approved. Just extended chorus. Is this the final chorus? Oh wow, that went by. Oh, no wonder it's only 2.5 minutes. I was gonna say, like, no way, that's the final chorus already. But yeah, 24 is nice. It's got a really nice groove to it. It's one of the more punchier songs on the album. It's not bright, and it's not fast either, but it packs a punch for every beat that it gives off. And, you know, it's got the trademarked Monotree synth work going on that I absolutely adore. Like, I've been loving what Monotree have been cooking up in the last few years, especially now that I've kind of fallen into the on and off train a little bit with Hwanghyun from Monotree as well. Just like, yeah. I feel like whenever I see anybody from the Monotree music team get involved with music, I know that I can expect some very tasty synthesizer work, and 24 was no exception. So highly, highly approve of that. Ooh, Midnight Flower and 24 are kind of punching pretty high for B-side of the album for me right now. But yeah. And like, it's not just the synth work, but the brass section as well. It might be brass synthesizers. I don't really care at this point. I love a good brass section in a song because I think it kind of ramps up the heart rate even a little bit more in the best way possible. Throws in the right direction. I love a good brass section in a song, and it's just like, you know, when you see, like, I'll keep it in the world of K-pop, but when you have idols having like food contents. Like, they're out and about in a restaurant or abroad doing like food tasting or whatever they're doing. They eat food, and you get those really emotive idols that can tell you exactly how good the food is by their eyebrows. You know, like Chiyu of Twice is iconic for this. You know, the angry eyebrows, the eyebrows of truth, as I like to call them. But 24 is one of those songs that would bring out the eyebrows of truth for me. Just. It's not a pretty face, but it's a face of approval. keep her moving. Beyond the Beyond. Beyond. You know what? We'll call it Beyond Squared because I'm lazy to write out the entire title. Lyrics by, Miss Soyeon once again, alongside Hyang Borang, Jun Hyun-ji of MUMW, and Jaden Jung. Composition, Bad Sun Yoon, Louis Frixveen with Bad on arrangement. So this is a music team similar to White Soul Sneakers. Alright. I wonder if it's going to be a little bit trickier then, in terms of the kind of process and just breaking down the individual elements. Low start. Apart from the snaps, acapella. Whoa. Kind of a global direction? Never mind, hold on. Do you hear that bass, the way it's like rumbling? Very sax? Okay. If 24 was bringing out the stank face, Beyond the Beyond is also bringing out the stank face. This instrumental part is so misleading. Because you have this kind of... You have all this pitch percussion that doesn't really feel like a sound that you really hear in K-pop at all, and then all of a sudden you flip it into this. Big bass, rumbling brass, loud, punchy. I mentioned earlier in... Which one was it? In 24 that I love a good brass section. If there's one instrument that I love more than a good brass section, is a good saxophone part. Oh yeah. Tone it down a little bit. Sporadically sprinkle in some rap section. Bring in the pitched like hand drums again. Oh my goodness. The never-ending high vocal run of Miss Soyeon, I'm assuming? Okay, let's talk about Beyond the Beyond, shall we? In terms of like songs to understand, definitely a lot easier to follow along than White Soul Sneakers. But I keep harping on about that instrumental section. So I'm going to continue to harp about that instrumental section. The way this song opens, you know, it's essentially, apart from the snap, a cappella. It's only vocal, no instrumentation, no like, pitch percussion. It's all snap and the vocals. Then you bring in the instrumental part. You get this like high-pitched, almost metallic pipe-sounding percussion part with what sounds like pitched hand pans or like steel drums. So either way, instruments that don't often feature in really K-pop or in Western pop music. It's definitely more regional instrument, a region-specific instrument, which already is a super cool touch, because I'm a big fan of global music, especially when we start delving into kind of cultures and musical styles, instruments that really don't get featured in mainstream music, or at least in mainstream K-pop, mainstream J-pop, and just mainstream Western pop music that I don't really listen to all that much anymore. But even in the realm of K-pop, you have kind of your general flavors. So you have your, if you're going the ballad direction, you have your really pretty orchestral strings, your acoustic guitar, your pianos. You get into more poppy stuff, you get a lot of synthesizer work. You go into the rock direction, you get your electric guitar, electric bass, your drum kits, things of that nature. Those are your kind of like standard spread of flavors you get in pop music. But once you start throwing in some region-specific instruments, like with Beyond the Beyond, you get the occasional, like, you know, the pitched hand pans or steel drums. Like, Black Swan's Karma from last year threw in a little bit of regional, like, Indian influences. Coup d'etat from Kingdom last year also took some regional influences. Luna's Paint the Town had some regional influences. Like, those are songs that have all used instruments that really don't get featured, and they make those songs stand out because of it. Beyond the Beyond is doing that exact same thing, but they've taken it a more kind of tropical direction, but done it in a way where it's got the tropical influences in the instrumentation, but it is not at all a tropical sounding song, which is super cool. I like that. I love when songwriters can do little clever things like that, because it's just like, this is not a song you will find very often, this type of music. Well, this type of music, yes. This specific sound, you will not find, really, ever. Love that. Alright, track number 9, Non-Scale. There you go. Lyrics by Jin Lee of Full Bloom with Jaden Jung. Composition, Glory Face and Jin Lee of Full Bloom with Glory Face from Full Moon on arrangement. So we get another Full Moon track. And with you know what? Heart Raider was a banger of a tune, and I finally said it right. Hallelujah. Alright, let's see what No Scale is like.
You can find me, I'm here. You can touch me, I'm here. 내가 필요해, 사랑이 필요해. 집중이 안 돼. Hey, 언제나 누구나 후회. 어쩌면 당연한 걸.
Did it take 9 songs to get to a cutesy girl group song? Hold on a second, let him cook. Okay, I can get on board with this. Hold on a second. Let him cook. The unison vocals with the brightness. Oh yeah. You know what this is? For me, this is nostalgic. I'll explain later, but this for me, pure nostalgia. And I love that it resets back into this like simple formula, one instrument, one vocal. Ooh. The little telephone filter. Oh yeah. Oh, I am right in my comfort zone with this one. This might take beats out of the album for me. And just the subtle unison vocal work here is everything. Oh, they're gonna keep the pace going for the bridge. I thought they maybe cut the percussion part altogether. Hello, rap line.
다시 필요해 위로가 필요해 나에게로 와 눈길을 다가와도 돼
I love that the main vocal part didn't come in and kind of drown out the vocal run. Yes, no, non-scale can be described by one word: nostalgic. This reminds me of the type of girl group music that I fell in love with when I got like back into the genre. So for reference, what brought me kind of properly into K-pop was like mid 2010s girl group music. So specifically the what's often like categorized as Christian horse girl music. So your Oh My Girls, your Lovelies, your Labooms, your Boom, Lovelies, Oh My Girl, G-Friend, Doi, G-Friend. So, and then it kind of slowly evolved from there. So from kind of the early days of my K-pop involvement, I was very much oriented around this brighter, lighter type of girl group music. But non-scale, for me, stylistically, fits in the realm of late IZ*ONE. No, not even late IZ*ONE, like Violetta and Fiesta eras in terms of discography from IZ*ONE. Maybe a hint of Rocket Punch in there, maybe a hint of Wuju Sonya in there, maybe a hint of Cherry Bullet in there. R.I.P. Cherry Bullet, I miss you dearly. But, and then if we want to take it more recent times, Chosarang, CSR. Hopefully they have new music coming out soon, but it's that cutesy, lighter, brighter type of girl group music that's super easy to listen to, and it's just positivity, happiness, and rainbows, and it's definitely a guilty pleasure type of song for me, but if this pops on shuffle, I will shamelessly listen to it. It's yeah, it does feel nostalgic in a way, because up until I'd say probably like 2020, late 2021, I didn't really get involved with boy groups like at all, and that's including the big boy groups of the time, like, you know, BTS, your EXOs, your NCTs. I really did not get involved with the boy group side of K-pop for very long time compared to when I got into the genre to begin with. So this is cool to me. This is very cool. And I know tripleS have done IZ*ONE sounding stuff before, like Evolution's Rodante. Well, I think it was done by the same music team that did Violetta. So, or Violetta Fiesta. I always get those two mixed up, but you know, you bring those two in, and it was like IZ*ONE Reborn 2023 version with Evolution. Non-scale has brought back 2019 K-pop girl groups for me. B-side of the album. And that takes us to song number 10. We are on the final track, Dimension. Dimension makes her grandiose return once again. It's been, what, since Crystallize's debut, since we've had a Dimension release? So we had Dimension AAA version, we had Dimension Crystallized version, and now we get Dimension OT24 version. So, lyrics by Yi Jin, Jaden Jung, Choi Young Kyung. That's a tongue twister and a half. Composition, Bad, Sanyun, Isa Guerra with Bad on arrangements. Now, I don't know off the top of my head if this is the same composition team that did the AAA and Crystallized version of Dimension, but either way, it's good to see a familiar face back, because I kind of unironically really like Dimension, so let's see what this one is like.
Ready, set, and go. 꽃잎처럼 흩날린 빛이 눈부시게 주위를 감싸와 우와 황홀한 이 기분 oh it's you 새벽의 창가에 비친 익숙한 내 낯선 silhouette
Well, they definitely differentiated it from the older dimensions, haven't they? Hello, breath section. And there's the familiar dimension hook. That's cool though, they kind of spun like a throwback hip-hoppy vibe into it too. But it's still definitely dimension. Which also marks an interesting point, there's no ballad on this album. The closest thing you get to a ballad is Chiyu. Is the closest thing to a ballad we get on this album. That's cool though. I didn't think this would be the direction they spun Dimension for this era. I'm not mad at it though. They've done so much with it, it feels like an entirely different song apart from this hook. Exchange. Still got the familiar hook. Oh, there again, Tasty with the bridge. Hold on a second. Got it. Sorry, mosquito flying around. This is definitely one of those songs that's gonna get a choreo sequence, isn't it? I don't know if Assemble24 is gonna go on tour, but if they do, there's definitely gonna be choreo for this. Exchange. Wow. So that is how they spun Dimension this time. Yeah, it's stylistically so different from what Crystallize and AAA had done with their versions of Dimension, but it's still quintessentially Dimension the song, which I appreciate because they've done so much to it, and yet they've kept the essence of what makes Dimension Dimension, and they've kept it in the song. So I approve of that highly. And interesting style switch too, not just in terms of Dimension the song, but the album as well. This kind of retro urban hip hop meets brassy funky elements is definitely, well, I mean, we've had like brassy funky stuff in the past on this album, like, you know, 24 had the monetary synth with the brassy sections in it. Beyond the Beyond had the Barry saxophone part. But Dimension's the only one that takes it into this kind of throwback. Well, I don't know my hip hop music at all, but I want to say like West Coasty. I could be very off the mark on that, but it's the only song on the album that spins it into like this territory of the musical genres. And they've done it on a song that's technically been done twice already. And I think that's super interesting how they've managed to spin an already twice familiar song into something that's so different in every single facet of the word, essentially. They've managed to bring in, I don't want to call it a crowd favorite, but for me, it's like a crowd favorite. And made it in a way that not only sounds entirely different from the others, but sounds entirely different from the rest of the album and still works. This Dimension, for me, is like the tripleS finisher song on an album. I would have liked to get a ballad a la tripleS aria on this album, but I'm not going to complain too much. Yeah. Wow, what a journey that album takes you on, eh? Okay, let's talk. Final thoughts on the album. This is definitely the most mental power required for me on a Triple S album. I feel like, just like ranking them in order, I probably pair every album up with each other. So like I pair Crystallize and Acid Angels from Asia into one set, Evolution, Lovolution into one set. And weirdly enough, OT10 Triple S release and OT24, like Assemble 24 and the, I guess, was it the original Assemble album? For me, they don't sync up in the same way that Acid Angels from Asia, Crystallize, and Evolution Lovolution do, which is really interesting because I thought we kind of get like a side B to OT10 Assemble. That's not the case. This is, for me, musically the most complex album I think they've done as a collective. There's just so much more mental thinking that my brain is doing listening to this album, and it's not just because I'm talking about it on camera. Like, I did that for Muhan. I don't remember if I ever did it for Mujuk. We did it for the Crystallize album. I've done it for the Assemble album. I've never been this mentally tired after a Triple S release than I have with Assemble 24, which is not a bad thing by any means. They are making music that is stimulating to the ears and to the brain for me, and I'm never going to complain about the fact that there's going to be songs on here that's really going to push my mental capabilities in understanding how the song works, especially the Sohyun songs. Like, especially, what is it? White Soul Sneakers? White Soul Sneakers is a trip and a half that my brain is going to digest for a very long time. But overall thoughts? On first listen, it's not my favorite Triple S album that they've done. I'd still say those go to both Mujuk and Muhan. Those Evolution, Lovolution albums were spectacular, and I've had them on repeat since. Certain B-sides obviously get more playtime than others, but Assemble 24, yeah, this is an album. If I'm going to do full listen-throughs, I'm gonna need to be pretty alert to like really kind of understand, because there's songs on here that the kind of groove takes over more than anything. So what, White Soul Sneakers definitely has a song where the groove just takes over. Beyond the Beyond, same way. There's some songs, of course, that'll get, the stank face out, a la Beyond the Beyond once again. You get 24. Midnight Flower really just kind of puts the hammer down, non-scale, kind of the same way. It's just the speed, instead of going linearly in a straight direction, has an up and down in form of a bouncy beat. And then Girls Never Die is kind of the centerpiece of it all. It's got the kind of slower, more mature vibe. It lets the song kind of develop on its own terms, where you're along for the ride. And the overall product, the only really qualm I would even resemble having is the fact that we don't get a proper ballad. Because I know for a fact they're capable of doing a really heartfelt ballad, and maybe they're going to save it for like the first anniversary of Assemble 24 or something, when they do a fan song for Waves. If they do, I'm going to be looking forward to it. I love a good ballad. That's why I loved Aria so much. But without the ballad, there's really no problems. With the ballad, this might have been an 11 out of 10 album for me. Who knows? But two things I hope from the future of Assemble 24. An S version of Girls Never Die, because I think the instrumental they chose for the intro song S is spectacular, and I would love to hear it for the entire thing on Girls Never Die. And OT24 ballad. Those are like my two wish lists for Assemble 24 right now. But that is it from me today. Oh my goodness, we've been going for an hour. Thank you all for bearing with me and my incessant rambling as usual. This was a tremendous amount of fun. I am going to go and upload this and possibly try and find a group shot from Girls Never Die so I can update the girl group intro. But I'm going to leave it here. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today. Let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world. Whether it be, checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just a one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy in there who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, a shoulder to lean on, whatever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I just had a thought. I'm recording this very much close to release, so this isn't a problem. But what are color-coded lyric video creators and line distribution creators gonna do? Because, well, we've never heard the Glow members sing yet. Or at least maybe just off of some signals and stuff we have, but we haven't heard them sing in a studio setting yet. We've barely heard the NXT members sing on a song. They've had one song as a subunit. Oh my goodness. Good luck to all of the line distribution and color-coded lyric creators out there, because oh my goodness, differentiating 24 voices is that's a monumental task and a half, isn't it?